Welcome to the Website E-Commerce Marketing Seminar presented in Las Vegas, Nevada at the ARA 2011 trade show. This is a remake of the original seminar, and let's go ahead and get started. First thing that we want to do is we want to talk about the recognition review articles NetSoft Studio has been placing into the Recognition Review magazine. The article series started in December of 2010, and it is titled "If You Build It, They Will Come." The purpose of the article series is to try and educate people on how to increase your search engine rankings. A lot of people think that search engine rankings are simply about keywords, and search engine rankings are based about many different pieces of criteria. So in the December 2010 article series, we talked about grammar and spelling on your website, HTML grammar, which is basically good coding, accurate content on your website, as well as the website server speed itself. We continue our article series in January of 2011. In January 2011, our article "Build It, Work on It, Market It, Then They Will Come" focused on researching keywords, meta keywords, and meta descriptions, as well as ensuring your web page content matches keywords and descriptions. In our February 2011 article, "If You Submit It, They Will Come," we focus on submitting your sitemap files to Google, as well as utilizing Google and Yahoo Analytics, and how to submit your site to the various search engines, including the primary three: Google, Yahoo, and Bing. In the March 2011 article, we titled this "If You Build It, They Will Come," Part 4 of 5. We discussed Google Places, social media and how to benefit from it, as well as blogging to increase your traffic. And then in the April 2011 article series, we'll be discussing geography and search engines and the roles they play together, keeping up with search engine changes, and ongoing website marketing to boost your rankings. While we were at our education seminar, we had a little bit of a discussion talking about what are your surfing pet peeves, and there was some really great feedback that was provided. But we're going to go ahead and take a look. And one of the pet peeves that a lot of people come across is finding search results not related to your search that you placed into the search engine. Clicking too many times to find what you're looking for. This comes into play when you click on a link in a search engine and you go to a web page and it shows you information that may be a little bit related to the topic that you're looking for, but then you still have to go searching around that website in order to find what you want, and this creates frustration with the user. Organization of information that lacks in logical structure. As human beings, we think in terms of logic. We think in terms of organization. Having good organized information on your website is important, and search engines will actually look at the organization of your website and reward you with higher rankings for having a good structural design. Inability to buy online. This requires contacting a salesperson. It's a really huge pet peeve, and if you think about it, when you have time to actually research what you want to buy for your business, or even for your personal, if you're looking to buy a new computer, for instance, typically during your business day of 8:30 to 5, you may not have time to purchase a product online, and so you might actually do that surfing and that research 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Well, if your website is not able to take an order and it's 7 o'clock and you've already closed for the day, you've pretty much lost the sale, because the person who has found your website is probably going to click on the back button and they're going to go to the next website. No pricing of products. Requires contacting a salesperson to gain pricing. A lot of people look at this as, if you don't know your pricing of the product that you're selling, then are you going to nickel and dime me? Are you going to use typical used car salesman tactics in order to try and see how much money you can get out of me for a particular product? You really need to price your products. Stick with your pricing, put it on your website, let people know that you don't have a problem putting your prices out there, even if they're more expensive than some of your competitors. That doesn't really matter. But you do need to have pricing of your products on your website. Poorly designed visuals on a website. This one I can't stress enough because it really just shows the lack of professionalism that your site has. If you're unprofessional in your website, you're probably going to be unprofessional in the product that you're going to deliver to your customers. So be very careful of how you design the visuals on your website. It does need to look nice. First impressions are everything. Linking off to other website catalogs to display products. This is pretty much one of the things that the awards and recognition industry does quite a bit. The problem with linking off to other website catalogs is that you're actually helping the search engine rankings of the catalog site you're linking off to, and you're hurting your own rankings in the process. Whenever you link off to any website or have any website linked to you, it's basically considered a vote for the popularity of your website. So if I link off to a supplier's catalog and there's 400 other trophy shops that are also linking off to a supplier catalog, there's 400 shops voting for that website catalog. But nothing's voting for your website, so you're not going to rank high. So you really want to have the product on your website versus linking off to supplier catalogs. Slow websites, often associated with cheap hosting. A simple research at alexa.com, you'll find that websites that are slow are going to rank lower. It's a simple fact of life. If your website isn't going to be able to serve the product, we're not going to want to put it on page one of the search engines. No contact information easily found on a website. And this was one question that I had asked of the group that was in the education seminar. How many people get frustrated when they go to any website, whether it be a bank, whether it be an insurance company, it doesn't matter, but you can't even find a telephone number to call. It's a common practice in corporate America to hide that information. They don't want to take the phone calls. Rather, what they would like to have is they would like to have you send them an email. Even then, half the time it's hard to find an email address to contact them. Put your contact information on your website. That's extremely important. That alleviates the frustration of the website visitor when they want to call you and ask questions about a product. Forced information. Over and over and over again, I see websites pop up, and the very first page of a website talks about your company history. How many years you've been doing business, or you're family owned. And truth of the matter is, nobody really cares. If we want to look at your history, let us click an About Us link and then let us read about it. But when you're doing a search in Google for acrylic awards and I click on a link, I want to see acrylic awards. That's what I clicked on the link for. I didn't click on the link so I could read 5 paragraphs about your company. So don't force information upon your customers. Give them what they're looking for, and then let them decide if they want to read about your company. They can click a link that says About Us, and then they can read all about your company, your history, how many years you've been in business, see some photos of your store, but at least they've made the request to look at that information. Background music or other audio. It's cool, it looks interesting. The problem is that you never know when the person who is visiting your website might be sitting in a corporate office environment. And this is a really good example. I went to a website for somebody in the awards industry, and it was for a bowling company. They had a bowling alley and they also had a trophy store. Well, the very second I got on the website, all of a sudden I hear a bowling ball crashing against some pens. And it was very loud in my speakers. Well, if I'm in a corporate environment, other people who might be sitting at desks next to me might be thinking I'm playing a computer game. So let's keep the background music and audio off the websites. It really is bad design. Introduction videos. This kind of goes along with the background music and other audio. Again, don't force me to look at a video about your company. It may look cool, it may look snazzy. Again, I want to see what I clicked on the search engine link for. If it's acrylic awards, show me acrylic awards. Don't show me videos. What are the purpose of search engines? With over 10 million, 20 million, or 30 million websites that are out there, search engines organize all the information across the world together. They're designed to provide access to accurate directory-style results relating to the keyword used in the search. Let's think about which search engine is your favorite. Is it Google, Yahoo, or Bing? But then let's think about which search engine used to be your favorite. Again, Google, Yahoo, or Bing. Have you switched which search engine you prefer to use? Then ask yourself the question, why did you stop using one search engine and started favoring another. People choose to use different search engines primarily because of frustrations with their previous search engines. Now, if we think about this, if I'm unhappy with one search engine and I start using another, there's a reason I've done that. Well, the search engine I stopped using doesn't want me to stop using their search engine, so they're failing to provide the information that I'm looking for. So the search engines work very hard to try and give you the information that you're looking for in an accurate content, and they want to provide the most relevant results. So let's keep that in mind whenever we're working with our keywords in our searches. Website designs and their effects. Now, a lot of people don't understand, but a website design really does play a huge role and effect in your search engine rankings. Again, it's not just about keywords. It's about a lot of different factors that all play together in order to make a good content presentation. Search engines will favor good website designs that follow standards. Again, this goes back to if you're going to do a good job, then you're probably going to do a good job with the product you deliver as well. In addition to that, when companies follow website design standards, they're basically following what has been set out there by the W3C, and the purpose of that is so that every company understands this is how the internet is going to work. But when we don't follow standards and we code things against the standards, well, that creates problems not only for website visitors but for search engines themselves. Search engines are going to favor good outline, and that's the key, outline-based structural designs that organize content. In addition, search engines are going to favor good grammatical structure and cite content without spelling errors. Now, that's not to say if you have an occasional spelling error, you're going to get majorly ranked down, especially when you're talking about products in the awards industry. There's a lot of product names that are out there that really don't have a word in the dictionary. They're basically names that were created by the suppliers, and of course, they're not going to spell check. That's okay. But obviously, if you can't spell the word promote, well, that is a word in the dictionary, and you're going to get ranked down for it. So why do the search engines do this? Well, the search engines are basically placing out there in the searches on page 1, page 2, page 3, websites that it feels is going to provide with the most relevant content that you're looking for. It's not going to place websites out there that are going to have content that is going to have problems and bad design to it, as well as bad grammatical structure. And the reason is because their names are going to be associated with it, and it goes back to the simplicity of they don't want you to stop using their search engine. So they're going to try and give you the best content, and they're going to use factors such as good website design and outline-based structural designs, as well as grammatical structure and site content without spelling errors as part of their search criteria as far as rankings go. Choosing a website software that adheres to website design standards is extremely important. Whenever you choose any shopping cart software package, a simple validation of that software solution against the W3C validator will give you the clue as to how well that site adheres to HTML and XHTML coding standards. Simply go to validator.w3.org. At validator.w3.org, it's a free service. You can simply put in any website on the internet, and it'll tell you whether or not that passes the validation standards. Now here's an example of a website that does not, and this is actually a website in the awards industry. We've kind of blocked out the website address here, but this website had 31 errors and 151 warnings. Again, this is a website that didn't follow the standards. They weren't concerned with providing good content. In addition, this website uses HTML 4.01 transitional. If the shopping cart software doesn't validate it, then it's a good indication of how sloppy the code of that software is. If the software code is sloppy, chances are the company who developed the software isn't concerned with quality. And obviously, if they're not concerned with quality, then they're not concerned with their customer success. Simple, buyer beware. Sites that don't validate most likely will have many other coding errors in the underlying code, and that will affect how a search engine views that website. It's a good way to compare a shopping cart software company or any web design firm that does good work versus one that provides sloppy work. Anytime that you decide that you want to take a look at a company, whether it be a web design firm or a shopping cart, ask to look at some of the current websites that they've got out there. Take a look and see what they've done. run them through the validator at w3.org. View the website in multiple browsers: Internet Explorer, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, Opera, SeaMonkey, Google Chrome. Sometimes a website will look good in one browser but will not look good in another browser. A good example of this is there was a very popular site out there that was put out there that showed a particular company's product line. And this particular website was a little bit cartoony, but outside of that, it only worked in Internet Explorer. It had a capability to be able to build trophies and to be able to select the different trophy products and put the components together. But unless you used Internet Explorer, you could not use that website. A lot of companies purchased that website, about 60 companies to what I understand, and little did they know, because they probably used Internet Explorer, that if anybody was on a Macintosh computer, which uses Safari or Mozilla Firefox, all the people that use Opera, SeaMonkey, Google Chrome, those companies could not use that website. And that can be very frustrating. So test out websites in multiple browsers. All the browsers are free to download on the internet. Just download them and take a look at the pages. Organizing website content will affect your search engine ranking. Google recommends an outline format to all website designs. Title your web pages according to the outline. Provide only content on that web page that actually relates to the page's title. A page titled Acrylic Awards should not have medallions on that web page. Again, a page titled Employee Awards should not have baseball trophies. If it's titled Cup Trophies, it should only contain cup trophies. And as you can see to our example to the right, we have a website that says Acrylic Awards is the title, and all we show is Acrylic Awards on that website. It's extremely important. Create a good outline design and stick with the actual content that belongs on that page. All pages should contain a title, meta keywords, meta descriptions, and a short synopsis of the web page. The search engines use this information. In our example to the right here from BizWizard ShopCart, we take a look at the category description, and we have a category description that's in there. We've also put in our meta keywords and our meta descriptions. This information is helpful to the search engines when it ranks your website. Avoid the jack of all trades, master of none mentality. This is pretty common. A lot of people want to be everything to everybody. You can't do it. If you're going to be a jack of all trades, you're going to rank lower. But when you can focus your company on 5 or 6 different product lines, whether it be your company focuses on acrylic awards and maybe corporate plaques and maybe cup trophies and maybe perpetual plaques, your focus is focusing on those 4 keywords, because you can't diversify yourself too much. When you diversify yourself, you become a generalist. Generalists will always rank lower in the search engines than specialists. So be careful of being the jack of all trades and master of none. Always write good product names and descriptions. Extremely important. Accurately title a product and make it as unique as possible. Every acrylic award on your website shouldn't say Acrylic Award. Give it a name. Get creative if you have to, but give it a name and try and make it as unique as possible. If you do give products all the same name, some search engines can take a look at that and they might look at it as search engine spamming. So be very careful not to do that. Write good product descriptions that accurately describe the product. How is the product made? What material is it made of? Where's the source of materials come from? At the same time, ensure you use SEO keywords in the product descriptions to describe the products. And we'll talk about keyword research a little bit later on in this presentation. Let's take a look at a product. We have an Achievement Black with White Diamond Acrylic Award. And if you notice, what we've done here is we've actually put little red boxes around all of our SEO keywords. But what we've done is we've actually written a very good product description. It describes the product, but we haven't excluded the keywords. The keywords are important, and you will learn to research those keywords a little later on. It truly amazes me how many people think they can put a website up and they're just going to magically appear in the search engines. You do have to let the search engines know about you. Now, the truth is they will eventually find you, but I've seen search engines take 2 to 3 years before they actually eventually happen across your website domain name. Well, that's 2 to 3 years that you've wasted on building up your reputation in the search engines. So primarily we want to focus on the 3 top search engines, which are Google, Yahoo, and Bing. These particular search engines comprise about 97% of the searches that go on the internet. More so Google than anybody. Google is probably about 70% of the searches that go out there. So that is your number 1 search engine you want to focus on. Yahoo and Bing are very good. There's still a lot of people that use those, but the numbers are less than 20%. So why don't we focus on the smaller search engines? Well, let's maximize our return on investment of your time. If 97% of the searches that go on out there are through Google, Yahoo, and Bing, well, you can spend the next 2 weeks just submitting your website to all the little search engines just to gain 3% of traffic. So if you just focus on the primary 3, you're basically getting 97% of the internet. Blogging. Do you have a blog? It's important. Blogging is important in order to promote your site. Blogging gets people to read articles that you write, whether it be articles about your company, whether it be articles about an award presentation your company participated in. People get interested in what you type. So you'll get people who will subscribe to your blog and they'll read your articles. I have a friend of mine whose daughter has gone overseas and she's in Ireland. And she basically has a blog, and this particular blog, what she puts on there is extremely funny. So she's taken her blog and she writes about her daily adventures in Ireland. She's over there for 6 months, and I can't tell you how many people, not just family and friends, that go read that blog. People are just flocking to the blog because of the humor that's placed in it. Well, every time you post something to your blog and somebody goes and reads it, you're also posting a link back to your website. So you really need to blog. It's important. It takes about 2, maybe 5 minutes a day, even if it's just writing a little paragraph about something, or if you've got some award presentation that you're doing 100 acrylic awards for, put a picture of the acrylic award up there, put what you're doing up there on your blog, let people see what you're doing as a company. Definitely create a blog. But blogs take so much time. Well, of course it does. Any type of marketing takes time. Marketing is not something that just happens overnight. So make it fun. Create a blog about something you enjoy. It doesn't even really have to have anything to do with your company. The purpose of a blog is to get people to it, to read about it, and then from there you can link from the blog back to your company website. Now, of course, if you have the content that is related to what you do as a business, that is even more beneficial because then the keywords about your company are also going to be in the text that you're blogging about. Social media. Do you socialize online? That's extremely important. Do you realize that right now, as you're listening to this presentation, there are over 1 million, it's a big number, 1 million conversations going on in the social media networks at this very second in time. 1 million. Do you also know that Twitter, every tweet that has been tweeted on Twitter is actually indexed in the U.S. Library of Congress database? Social media is important. I actually was listening to somebody one time, overheard them say, I don't get it, I don't see the benefit to it, it's just a waste of my time. Well, maybe it is a fad, maybe it's something that's here today, it probably is. A lot of the internet is fad-based, but the truth is, it is here and it's here to stay. But social media allows you to benefit your company by keeping your name in front of your customers. It takes 10 times of somebody seeing your company name for it to register that you exist. Then it takes another 10 times for them to see your company name before they actually are interested in what your company does. Another 10 times of them seeing your company name before they actually might contact you to place an order. You've got to keep your name in front of your customers. Doing simple things such as Facebook games. Facebook games allow you to keep your name in front of your customers because your customers are also playing Facebook games and they're in your neighborhood. So the Facebook games have these little neighborhoods where you're required to visit each other in order to help do things. Let's take, for instance, a farming game. There's a very popular farming game on Facebook. You have to go and do things on your neighbor's farm. But the interesting thing is when you go to your neighbor's farm, you see a company logo. I might see a company logo for ABCXYZ Trophy Company, because every day I'm going to their farm to do something on their farm because I get points in my Facebook game. And the truth of the matter is, people play the Facebook games, and if you're playing it too and you're their neighbor, they're going to see your company logo and they're going to constantly see what you're doing. Going viral on postings. This is important. What going viral simply means is, let's say for instance I am on a website I'm on a Facebook page and I see something where one of my friends has posted that they like a particular restaurant. Well, I might be interested in what they like. So I might click that link that appeared on my page. It's like, oh yeah, I've been to that restaurant. I like it too. And then all of a sudden I click the like button and now it posts on my 500 friends' pages that I liked it. All it takes is just one of my friends to do the same thing I did. They click on to see what the company's about. Oh yeah, they went to that restaurant too and they loved it. They like it. And now their 372 friends got a posting on their page that's about that company. So simply because one person liked a particular Facebook page, this has gone viral. It's gone out there and it's communicated information to thousands of people about this restaurant. And you really didn't have to do anything. All you had to do is post something on Facebook that says, hey, I went to dinner last night at this place and I had spaghetti. And it was the greatest spaghetti I had. And boom, 10,000 people a day later have already looked at it. People you don't know, people the restaurant doesn't know, that's going viral on postings. And of course we want to get links back to your website, and this is done this is basically website popularity. Every link that comes to your website is a vote basically for your website. Remember we talked a little bit earlier about posting links off to the supplier catalogs. Well, you're voting for that supplier catalog's website, and that supplier's catalog websites are going to move up in the rankings, not your website. Post some videos on YouTube. Get some photos out there on Flickr.com. Post some photos on Photobucket.com. You'd be amazed at how that will actually promote your website. And it's all free. You don't have to do anything. It's just a little bit of your time to post it. Record a video of how to put a trophy together. Record a video of how laser engraving is done. If you have a pantograph, and a lot of people probably be interested in how pantographs worked and how they were used to do awards back 20, 30 years ago. I know I love to read stuff like that, and there are a lot of people that would love to learn. So do a video. Let's talk about researching keywords. First thing you've got to do is you've got to remove yourself from trophy land. We think too much in terms and jargon words that are related to the awards and recognition industry. The problem is what we call a trophy, somebody else might call an award. What we call an acrylic award, somebody else might call a lucite award. Or even vice versa. I've seen trophy shops, because 20, 30 years ago, lucite was the big word as to what we created, but we now call them acrylic awards. And so then trophy shops actually create their websites around the term lucite. Well, the problem is what are your customers thinking when they type into the search engines? Think about what your customers type in. Are they going to type in lucite award, or are they going to type in acrylic award? Are they going to type in acrylic trophy? Believe it or not, people do. We don't call it acrylic awards in the awards industry, but there are people out there that will call it that. A medallion, people might call it a medal. People might call it a medal trophy. People might call it an award medal, an award medallion. There's all sorts of different words that people will call different products. You've got to think what your customers are thinking and remove yourself from trophy land. One of the ways that you can build your business is to start by focusing on less popular keywords. Build from there. And the reason I say this is because less popular keywords, your larger competition is not going after. The little keywords are going to be very easy to rank on, very simple. But what it does is it creates a snowball effect. It starts driving traffic to your website, and the more traffic Google sees going to your website, the more they're going to rank you higher. It's the popularity game all over again. there's a keyword research tool at Google, and I'm going to go ahead and leave this up here for a second so that you can, or just pause the video so that you can copy this website address down. But what the keyword research tool is it gives you the capability to take a look at what keywords people are typing into the search engines. And it's a great little tool. We did a little test about the term cup trophy versus trophy cup. Interestingly enough, we actually found in the 70,000s of searches that went on for cup trophy. And so, naturally we would think that cup trophy was a very important keyword because we only had, I think it was around 1,800 searches for the word trophy cup. Well, when we dug into the data a little bit deeper, we found that those 70 some odd thousand cup trophy searches all came from South America. South Africa. And it was all related to the World Cup trophy. Well, if 99% of those searches came from South Africa, are you really going to gain benefit from that? However, the word trophy cup, most of the searches that came in from the word trophy cup came in from America and the United Kingdom. So it may only be 1,800, but it's 1,800 potential leads versus 70,000 leads where people click on a link to your website and then turn around and click the back button because it's not what they're looking for. So you've got to do your keyword research, and again, focus on 4 to 5 keywords that your company really excels at. At this point, we did have some question and answers, so we'll go ahead and skip this slide here, and this does conclude our presentation. Thank you for joining me, and if you have any questions, feel free to email us and take a look at our BizWizard ShopCart product as well as our BizWizard Order Manager product, and thank you for attending.